Yeah, good, mate. You?
Busy.
Yeah,
I feel like this is the busiest part of my life so far. Like it's non-stop, and I just don't get it.
No, shop's gone quiet now.
We're changing the weather as well now, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got to do where we had that good 6 weeks. You're just sort of getting everything back ready now, so ready for the next onslaught.
Do you remember that video I sent through with that orb?
Yeah.
Well, the fella that sent it, he actually lives down the road from White Elms Garden Centre. I didn't know that. He told me the other day. He said, "I'll see an Essex Ghost Hunters thing." I went, "Yeah." He said, "There's a shop there." I went, "Yeah, I said, "Go in there and introduce yourself and have a chat with them." So
yeah,
he might pop in.
Well, lovely. That's all right, mate. Yeah. Be good if you'd have done it this week, because I haven't seen it this week. I don't know if anybody's listening to us. I can't see any comments, but I never can. And then Russell comes in and tells me everybody's on. But
yeah, I think I'll get it on a different page because I can never see. Oh, blimey, it's come straight up though.
Is it?
Yeah, that's for me.
It says we're live anyway, so that's good news. Anybody out there? Can you hear us? Give us a little thumbs up or.
Maz is watching. Hi, Maz.
Hi, Maz. I can't see that you're watching, but hello. No, I still can't see anybody yet. It's not good, is it? I'll have to wait till his comments come up on the screen. Then I can see people. But no, yes, it's been pretty quiet. But hey ho.
Swings and roundabouts, mate. Swings and roundabouts. Once the Christmas decorations come in, I think it'll get busy again.
I think they've done the Christmas lockdown, the garden centre, to be honest.
No, they started playing Christmas music in the office the other day. Wound me right up. It's far too early.
It's getting too early, and it is too early.
Snow is falling.
Shut up.
Evening, everybody. I'm well underprepared tonight. I'm well underprepared. I'm just not used to it. Bear with me, guys. Right. What are we? Right. We are nearly there. Right. Are we ready? I don't know what.
Yeah.
I think it's. I don't know. We're live anyway. We're live, and I don't know where the opening tune is. I don't know what is there. Have I still got it?
Dim the lights, the night's alive. We're diving deep where shadows thrive. Journeying through the EGH.
Paranormal called psychics I rush to. They've got the stories you never knew.
Journeying through the EGH. Ghosts and vibes, we're here to talk. Hold on tight, it's a spooky walk. Journeying through the EGH.
Fine.
In. Dim the lights.
No, we're not going again. Don't worry, guys. I wouldn't put you through that pain again. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Journey Through the EGH Paranormal Talk Show. I hope you are all doing well. It's Thursday, the 25th of September. I've just put Paul and everybody through that painful song. I really have
It's in the end now.
Well,
You should have started with "Good evening, boys and girls." On tonight.
well, if it's sticking in your head, that means it's doing the job.
EGH.
It's doing its job. Everyone remember that now. All right. So maybe the painful song is actually a good song in a bad way.
Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah.
So hello, everybody. Welcome, one and all to the Journey Through the EGH Paranormal Talk Show. We are live. We're on. I don't think we're. And look, I'm well behind the 8 ball. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. But where we are streaming to is a whole different kettle of fish. So just let us know in the comments where you're watching us, so I sort of know. If you're watching on YouTube, let us know. If you're watching on Facebook, let us know. I really, really should get us on TikTok, but I really need someone to give me advice on how to make sure we can stream to all platforms. You know, there must be something out there. We see these people live on all these things and they're streaming to. So if anybody does know of a piece of software or hardware potentially that will let me stream on our Facebook, our YouTube, our TikTok, our Instagram, let me know. I would be very interested to talk to you because it would make my life a lot more easier. But I think they will say, you've got to have OBS. And I think that is something that's a bit out of my remit. But hey ho. I've overcome things I thought I'd never be able to do in the last year with the paranormal equipment. So streaming on multitasking things is probably something that will be a little bit more easier, but who knows? Welcome everybody. Jane is watching. Evening, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
Watching as well. Hello, everyone watching on Facebook. So we know we're live on Facebook, but what one we're streaming on, who knows? Who knows? So welcome everybody. Welcome one and all. I think there is going to be a change in a minute because I need to change that over. Have I changed voice?
You went really loud for a second and then you've gone back.
That's all right. That's all right. Because I think I'm on the right thing, which should be correct. That should be correct. All right. We are, Kelly is watching on Facebook. I think someone's tagged there as well. Lisa Jones has tagged someone into that. So welcome everybody. Hope you are well. I've got to shut up talking and say welcome to Psychic Sci and welcome to Paranormal Paul. As I normally start the show, how are you doing, Mr. Paranormal Paul?
I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not too bad. All good. Couple of weeks rest from the show, but not rest from work and doing bits and pieces around the house. But no, I'm all good, mate. I'm feeling well. I'm up for it.
Well, before we started the show, you said you have now built yourself a little office, and this is where you are now streaming from. You are streaming from your sort of slash man cave, aren't you?
No, this is the room I've always done it in, Russ. It's just it's been decorated. It's not full of my daughter's junk now that I've got to fight around every Thursday night just to get to the computer. So I've made it into an actual office. And
is this going to be your sort of paranormal office, your conspiracy truth-seeking office?
100%.
Is this where you're going to be spending them late nights, delving deep down YouTube and searching things? And
I'll probably end up doing that downstairs because they all go to bed early over a weekend, see, and so I'm on my own downstairs. But
they can't have that, Paul. Can you?
No.
Yeah, you've got to put somebody to run to it there.
It's a good setup. It's a good setup.
He never heard that. He never heard that.
No, I chose to ignore it, Russ. I chose to ignore it. Downstairs, see, the back door's right in the site. So
that's when Michael Myers can look through the patio doors, Paul. Remember, I've been there in your house. I think I'd rather be in your office. So glad to hear you're all okay, Mr. Paranormal Paul. Mr. Psychic Sci, how have you been for the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, all right, really.
Well, you managed to get a little break as well, didn't you? As well, you've had a little break.
We went down some walking on the night, and it was a lovely weekend. Lovely little weekend just to do a lot of walking, a lot of meditation. Yeah, really good. Really chill.
Down there since I was a kid.
Oh, mate, it's lovely. Lovely place.
Where's Walton? there's a pier at Walton, isn't there? Am I right? There's a
Here
pier.
at Walton, there's a big tower, and we ended up walking 21 miles in 3 days. So there's a lot of walking because you can walk all the way along Frinton, all the way into Holland and Sea. It's lovely. Really was lovely, and the weather was good to us. Weather was really good to us, so it was nice. Yeah,
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. I'm not rubbing it in, but I was in 37 degrees of heat for the last week, so I'm now very, very cold. And I mean, I come back and I am freezing. But I'm also I'm becoming really itchy and peeling, so I've got to get my back scratcher out every now and again. So if you do see me doing that, I do apologise. All right, because it's really itchy at the moment.
as long as it stays at the back.
Well, to be fair, we haven't really got much to. I've just broke it. Not funny. Not funny. I'm going to sit there. I'll have to 3D print a new top for it. But no, we haven't really got anything scheduled to talk about. I know there has been a lot that has gone on since the last show. I know that the last show we had Paul Howard on speaking to us about a UFO incident with his friend. We have done a bit of digging into that, and we are sort of reaching dead ends and things like that. So we will keep digging. We will keep digging, and we will keep going as much as we can. But not to say we've had a new lead, but we've had a name of a potential town that wasn't in our first lookings of towns.
Yeah.
So that is a new lead that we do have. I personally haven't looked into that yet, but I should think Simon's had a bit of time to sort of do a bit of digging into that. But we will keep you informed going forward, guys, of what we have, and if there is any new sort of leads to that. Lisa is a new listener. Lisa Bellamy Jones. I'm a new listener. What do you normally discuss? It all depends where you're listening. If you're listening on the EGH page, Lisa, we will talk about paranormal stuff, ghosts, and all that. But there's also, this is a cross show. So we have, as you see, both if you look this side above my head, it's the EGH Paranormal Talk Show. And if you look above Simon's head, if you point upwards, Simon, other hand. No,
in the same direction.
That looks good to me.
No, that way. That's it. That hand. That's it. Perfect. That's perfect. If you're going towards that hand, this is a show that we will normally. So that's it. You can put your hand down now, Simon. We normally stuff a bit of conspiracy theory stuff, ufology and things like that. But we've now crossed the shows, so we sort of touch on a bit of everything throughout the show. I think we have to address the elephant in the room for our journey through the Unexplained Talk Show. I won't go too deep into it because I still don't quite know where I stand and what has gone on with it. But just before we went away, it was the sad news of Charlie Kirk got assassinated. For listeners to our journey page, and I'm not going to use certain words that they want us to use because I do think it's fueled by that. But his opinions, if you liked them or loathed them, should never have caused what he's gone through or his family to gone through. There is a split divide within the world. We know that. But there was no need for what has happened to him and his family to happen on maybe his beliefs, things he has said, and things gone through. So from everybody here on both shows, our love and heartfelt warmth go out to Charlie Kirk's family.
100%.
Like him or loathe him, there is no need for that sort of occurrence to happen. Whatever opinion is, I have opinions, Simon has opinions, Paul has an opinion. We may not all agree in this world, me and Simon, a lot of things we come to clashes with. We do. But
Yeah.
we would only argue over it. And then it would be forgotten. And then we argue over something totally different. But would we ever go to the extreme of what happened to him? No, we would never, because it's an opinion. And there's a borderline through an opinion and someone taking the opinion too far.
Great.
It's just resulting to violence over a difference of opinion. That was his whole mission. You know, you got a difference of opinion, talk about it, debate it.
That's
Well,
all it was.
You
And
never know.
look, I've watched some of his videos and I didn't agree with all of his videos. I have to sit there and admit it. Didn't agree with all of them. I agreed with some of them. And obviously he was a big mega fan, Trump fan. And I think that also has to be put into the whole conspiracy side of things, because there's a lot of conspiracy out there. I think at this moment in time, we have to take that with a pinch of salt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There was let sleeping dogs lie and let Charlie Kirk rest in peace for a moment. The truth, I feel, will come out eventually, like they all do.
But could it not have just been that there was a madman that shot him?
100%, Simon. And that's why I think I reserve judgment on that, the happening, because I think we could look at it from a divisive point of view and say that the shooting or the assassination has riled, and it hasn't just riled the states up, it's riled the whole world up again.
Yeah.
It's a divide and conquer, a divide, split mission of somebody or some form. If we are siding with the deep state or we're not siding with the deep state, it's not right in what's gone on. And that's all I sort of want to say. I know that there will be a time when me, Paul, and maybe Simon discuss this in a deeper matter, but I just want to sort of put our feelings out there that whatever's gone on, like him or loathe him, I do not agree with anyone that needs to be assassinated for an opinion. Everyone, and that goes along with everything that followed it, with certain things being taken off the air and things like that, with certain people. Yes, he said wrong things and he mocked potentially, but it's a matter of freedom of speech, which Charlie Kirk was trying to applaud more than anything. And he wouldn't have wanted anyone to be taken off air over an opinion that he had. So there was both sides here going at loggerheads, and I'm glad it's all sorted itself out, because that needs to happen. Freedom of speech needs to happen, and an opinion of speech. Because freedom of speech is only one person's opinion. Simple as it, in my eyes. So everyone deserves their right to a freedom of, you know, me and Paul have sat on this show many times on a Thursday night, and I've had my, you know, you've all known my opinion about Mr. Joe Biden, and I never held that up. We've had opinions on certain things, deep state. We go deep state. We've had Project Bluebeam, Agenda 3030. This all tails in dovetails. But do we need to be shut down? And we've been there, Paul. And we're only a little minute show. When we talk about flat Earth on this show, we don't get anywhere. It gets taken off the air. For what reason? Of all the things that we can discuss.
Yeah.
You know? And the thing that is the kicker for me is that Charlie Kirk was very religious. And I never felt that he spread hatred. It was an opinion. So that's all I will say on my opinion. And if Paul and Si have anything to follow up on that, please use this moment in time just to sort of either put me wrong or put me right.
No, 100% agree with you, Russ. I got quite emotional over it. To be fair, I really like the fella.
Yeah.
Like you say, you don't have to agree with everything he says, but it's his opinion. Yeah, no, that hit me quite hard, and I can see why it hit a lot of people quite hard as well. You know, out of all the people that I've followed and things like that that have passed, yeah, that one really got me more than I thought it would. Really got me. But yeah, no, rest in peace, Charlie.
Yeah, I just second that. Rest in peace. Let his family grieve for a while before all the
Yeah,
shit and what comes out. You know, just let his family grieve for a while.
I saw videos the following day, and I was like, "Look, this is just not. This is not on."
And to be quite honest, when they started coming on the next day, I didn't even vote.
Yeah.
I did not give them time of the day.
It was more the fact of it wasn't the fact of, look, we've gone through assassinations, obviously we had JFK, okay, and look at the conspiracy that comes with JFK, but you now can talk about that in a light where you're not necessarily offend too many people, because it's always been there. In 5 or 10 years' time, the assassination of Charlie Kirk and the conspiracy that will fit around it will be there, and you will be able to talk about it without offending a person that has died at a very young age of 31 years of age.
Mm.
And
Well, wasn't it where the word conspiracy started from with the JFK incident, wasn't it?
As in what way? Sorry, Paul.
That's the whole reason people started getting called conspiracy theory if they questioned the narrative at the time of how he died and who done it. I thought that's where it all started from. JFK conspiracy.
Well, once again, JFK was going to be the one who was going to let a lot of UFO stuff out the bag, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He sort of, once again, he sort of said along the lines of what Donald Trump hasn't followed through with. And I say that because we was promised a lot of things by Donald Trump. Area 51, it hasn't happened. But with JFK was going to do the same thing, but he got assassinated for it. So was it close for him to actually release that? I don't know. It's the stuff that, you could look at all the JFK, even from the projection of the bullets, it's obvious. No different to the moon landings. We all know there's something not right with the moon landings, but no one will ever, we can't prove it. We know there's a lot of things here with the JFK incident that it's just not, we can't prove, Yeah. So, and that makes I say entertainment, I say that the wrong word. I should rephrase that, but it gives us something to talk about in that limelight. Do you know what I mean? It gives people like us something to talk about. And I just don't feel at this moment in time, with what's going on in this world, that we need to use a young person's death as ammunition.
Yeah.
Let him
rest in
peace gracefully. Loathe him or like him, loathe him or love him, whatever you use. I don't wish that on anything. And being so religious and believing in Jesus Christ, I hope that it wasn't painful. He died short, sharp, and it was over pretty instantaneously. And I hope the good man upstairs, whoever you believe in, helped him on that journey. And that's all I will, say on the matter. Dean said, I thought it all started around the Roswell incident.
The conspiracy. No, I mean the coining of the phrase conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy's always been a word, but that's when the conspiracy theorists started getting coined as that was a way of dismissing people. You're a conspiracy theorist. And I thought it was all over the JFK incident.
Okay. So
I could be wrong, but I thought it was.
I'm going to ask you the question, both of you. If I know putting you on the spot, okay, what is the conspiracy theory that makes you question the most?
God.
The one that sticks into, if I was to ask, for example, if I don't know Joe, if Joe is watching, but if I was to ask Joe, what's the one that he would talk about the most? There'd be two. It'd be the pyramids and it would be the moon landings.
The moon landing's definitely up there. Definitely. Well, I mean, it used to be COVID, but that's all pretty much been proven now, isn't it? So,
Conspiracy.
I make the word conspiracy because it's more of something that you're questioning for the whole thing. Because I sit here and I question the Bible, but not in a bad way. I don't sit there and say it in a bad way, but I question what the Bible really is. That to me is a conspiracy. I think the Bible is a conspiracy, but on such a big level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would go for the pyramids, but then I would also, it's probably not so much a conspiracy, but the thought of why we never got to explore our oceans. With all the sophistication and equipment we've got, why are we not able to explore our oceans, our seas, what's under there? That's where my head goes. It's not so.
And when you think that's where NASA started as well, wasn't it? Exploring the oceans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so right, Simon. I'd like to delve that a little bit more. I'd like to have a conversation on that a little bit more with the oceans, because I know me and Paul have spoken about oceans and that before. And I know you've watched and commented, but never really had a chance to sort of speak about it with us. So I'll start off let's look at the things that we've caught on camera when really the tweak of our ufology stuff from when we sort of not say we've never left the ghost hunting stuff. That's wrong. We're big in the ghost hunting field. That's our niche. But it took COVID, and when we was allowed out, we took on the seat, didn't we? The Tic Tac on the live stream that we was doing at Coal House Fault.
Yeah.
I think Paul was filming live on this format, and we caught something in the sky.
100%.
Now that's when things started to tick a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think what come after that, then you obviously caught another one in Canby, facing, and I would say they're facing. You were filming from Coal House. You was filming up to Canby, and from Canby you were filming down to Coal House. So at some point between where you filmed in Canby to Coal House, we've caught something twice.
Yeah.
The second time, you didn't realise at the time that you'd caught it, did you? Until it was watched back.
No, I was just looking at the light coming on.
Simon he come running in the door saying, "Look at this video. Look at this video." And I can tell you now, I heard it as clear as day. Someone stood behind me, and all they said to me is, "Look higher in the picture." And it was in spirit form or an energy form. And at first, I didn't even see the light flickering.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, "Simon, you've caught something." And he went, "I know I have." And I showed him this thing that zigzagged. And he went, "I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the light that's flickering."
It can't flicker because it's not wired.
And it's like all of a sudden we've got now two things going on, and then the light flickering just becomes second. Like it wasn't. All of a sudden it become non-important, didn't it? Because we had this thing that come across the screen, hovered, and zipped down into ocean or the Thames or anything like that. Now, one particular place that is in between all them, Shellhaven.
Yeah.
Filming up to Canvey, down to Coalhouse. In the middle of there is Shellhaven.
Yeah.
Now, okay, it's not an oil refinery now, but it still holds that source of energy. Still holds fuel because Calagas come out of there. The petrol, the petroleum, and all that still comes out of Shellhaven. Not refined there, gone a long time ago. But is that something that we can put into that conversation?
As in what? Being a fuel depot type thing?
Yeah. There's an energy source there of a higher... If there was nothing there, then I don't think... If there was just a fault there, then it's nothing. But we've got energy there, petroleum there.
Yeah, and I think wherever there's energy, you're going to find that. You're going to find it because I don't know why, and I don't know what energy they need, but I do feel that they need something on our planet. 100%, and I can't tell you what it is because every time you go near water energy, that's where I will find them. That's where things will happen. And why? And how many sort of fighter pilots or Navy people have seen them come out the water? And we know so very little about our seas, our bottom of our oceans, and what's down there. So very little. And who's to say that bloke that went down there in that submarine that blew up, perhaps he was touching on something?
What, you know, and I say, you look at the threats that have come from the Titanic. You know, people just want, you know, we had clear radar, we had clear video evidence of the Titanic laying at the bottom of the ocean. Now, the video footage that come back from the bottom of that ocean and the radar, whatever they call it, that thing that they map out, had no evidence of a crack in the hull of where the iceberg should have hit. No evidence of that, which is very, very bizarre. Okay. And all of a sudden we get a couple of weeks after that footage comes out, people go down there and it's not there. It's bang on bang. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find it very weird. I find it very, very weird. So to me, I think it's a threat. Don't go down there. Don't go down there.
Are you saying that in the ocean side of things, or is that the Titanic conspiracy?
Ocean.
No. Yeah, slash Titanic.
I think it's the ocean.
You know, but I think there's certain what's just, you know, look, the argument and the whole, not argument, but the whole conversation, what's to say that where the Titanic lays, what's to say that an iceberg hit that Titanic? What's to say that an alien craft that is below there felt intimidated by that and moved it. You know, we all think that the alien are here to protect us and save us and living on our planet, but how do you know they wasn't violent and blew the Titanic to the bottom of the ocean because it was near something, and where it's laying is quite near their home or their base? Far out conspiracy, I know, but with what Simon is saying, the oceans, you think what joins every country? Oceans. We use cars to drive along the road. What's the best way for an alien craft to cross from America to the UK?
Yeah.
Under the water. It's never going to get,
undetected. Yeah.
you know. And I say it, and I, you know, I'm happy to say this now. And I've always said it, I've never seen rain like we had the day that the Queen passed away. Never. We drove all the way from Essex down to Bristol in, was it Bristol, Bath?
Dorset.
Sorry, Dorset. In rain of torrential rain. Okay, torrential. Like, and this was covered. This was widespread throughout the country. Now, I'm not going along David Icke territory, but I'm pretty sure the heads of these states will know of a form of extraterrestrial in our planet. The day that she was brought from Scotland down to England, torrential rain. No one saw that carrier in the air. Okay, that could be for security reasons, cloud seeding, everything like that. I get all that, but I still feel that there was a lot of comings and goings on that day, and it was water that was covering the craft up. And I think that's how they use it. The day that I remember, we've got the picture somewhere. I think I've still got the picture on here. I don't think I've deleted it. I bet I have now, though.
I remember them showing some of the bits on the news, weren't there, that there were some sightings on that day. Right. Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm going to remove us, and it's circled. The dot is circled, okay? I will bring us all back.
Yeah.
Fly over on the day. So yeah, that could be anything. We know that. It's a video, it is what it is. But there was a lot of these tic tacs seen, and there was also a lot of tic tacs seen lifting on the day of the King's coronation, which was also peeing down with rain from the back of Buckingham Palace. Now, look, trust me, I'm not going down the David Icke route. That's not what I'm sitting here saying. But I am saying the heads of these states will have a knowing of these beings, of whatever they are. And do you think we had what? How long was she a monarch for? 70 odd years, weren't she? 70 odd years. So if there is an extraterrestrial species out there that is been here all the time, she could make good friends. I know it sounds people are going to think they need to be locked up, Russ, but they could be potential allies to the UK. She could make good friends with a tall grey, for all I know. And I think the day that it was just And I said it on the day. Driving to Dorset, it never stopped. It was torrential. It was battering the windows until around about 5 o'clock. The sun broke. An hour later, we was informed at 6 o'clock that the Queen had passed. We all know she never passed at 6 o'clock. We all know that. She passed, I reckon, a good couple of hours prior to that. But I still feel that water there is their key, Simon. You know, when you say, what do they need? I think water is a good shield to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think maybe that's the reason why NASA and that stopped exploring the oceans? It was like a treaty. We'll work with you. You just leave our territories out of the way. Stop exploring.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
are they exploring and we're just not getting told?
No, I don't think they're exploring it. I don't think. I think we'd know. I think you would know. It's like, you know, if we can send men into space, let's forget about the moon landing. No, yeah, but let's. But we okay. We can send satellites into space. Let's say not men, but we can see satellites going through our atmosphere, and we can track a satellite across the sky, and you see them all the time. Why aren't we doing something down at the bottom of our oceans where there could be?
I totally agree with you.
Well, there could be, I don't know, there could be amount of stuff we could use down there. How do we know? You know, there could be another fuel. There could be another fuel that we could use down there that's great to the atmosphere. That's not going to destroy our atmosphere. But nobody's even looking at it today.
What about all these fishing vessels and things like that catch weird things on their cameras?
Yeah,
On their
exactly.
security cameras, their deck cameras, and even on their phones.
Yeah.
You know,
and you've got the US Navy, haven't you? You've got the US, you've got our Navy. All catch them. They all catch them. And most of them you'll see come out the water. Rather than being flying down, they're coming out. That's the thing. They're not flying in, they're coming out the water. So what's going on? There's got to be something. Yeah.
The famous Tic Tac one, wasn't it, that was caught? It was bouncing on the water, wasn't it? Or going low level across the water of some form, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it did go under at one point and it didn't change speed at all, did it?
No.
That was what they were more confused about than anything. The fact that it submerged and it carried on the exact same speed.
But there has to be something in that, doesn't there? This
Yeah.
is the whole thing about, you know, like this is just one conspiracy that the more you look at it, the more it's bizarre.
Yeah. And it takes me back to the Bermuda Triangle bit. Perhaps they moved it. Perhaps they moved their base. Perhaps the Bermuda Triangle was there. And if you crossed it, and if you were getting near it, you disappeared. But then
Maybe close to land.
Yeah.
You know, you're saying it was too, you know, it was too close to being seen. It was, you know, it was quite a flight path. Perhaps it's moved to somewhere, you know, for example, Antarctica. You know, we all know. Once again, we're talking about frozen water. Antarctica, frozen water. Ice. You know, there's a link there. There's a link between, and I you know. Yes, we all have opinions, but I think this could personally be the first time we've probably all had the same opinion on that the water is
we've actually agreed on something.
Yeah, as is doing something. But then you have to take into Atlantis.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
We have to look into Atlantis. You know, we're looking at a hidden city. You know, I know that there's. Sorry, go on, sorry.
Right, that place that we went to, Wales. There was an underground city there. Do you remember?
Hold on, I've got a comment. Yeah, yes.
Remember? It was put underground.
Yes,
underwater. So it was all underwater. And when it sort of, you had a dry summer,
you see the top of the
roofs would start to appear.
Yeah, that was on the. Oh, that was on the reservoir, wasn't it? Lake Fernway,
Yeah,
or
something
Fenway,
like
or
that.
whatever you say it in
Welsh.
in Welsh. Why is there an international flight zone
No
over
flight
Antarctica?
zone.
Yeah. Look, I'm
Right, you got that's this very small area though, isn't it? You know, even when you could do your tours out there, you're only allowed to go so far. They said no, they give us free reign. No, they don't.
no.
You've seen the boats when they try and get near there. The navy are there like that. You've seen the planes that try and fly near it. The planes are there like that. Very restricted.
The cruises that you can hire, they get changed at the last minute that you can't go to Antarctica. You know, I think there's a bigger, there's something more meaningful to Antarctica than anything that we can imagine at this moment in time.
Straight away, you've got to ask yourself, how have all them countries agreed on one thing?
Yeah.
You know, it's the only thing it's ever happened. The Antarctic Treaty.
The biggest thing that baffles me with Antarctica was Hitler.
Yeah.
Hitler spent more money searching Antarctica and getting to Antarctica than he did on the war.
Wow.
How's that physically? You know, what would it have? You know, why? You know, we have, you know, the conspiracy of Hitler trying to get to Argentina. There's certain boats, and was it Argentina or South America?
Yeah. Argentina.
Somewhere like that. But there's also conspiracy that he actually went to Antarctica. He spent a lot of money looking for the Ark of the Covenant. What's the other one?
Any biblical things, artifacts and things like that. He spent just as much money searching for them.
I'd say there was, because that, if you look at the Indiana Jones episode where they, you know, the one where his face melts, that Hans, whatever his name is, that's based on a true story. That is Hitler's sidekick. He was the one that he sent to look for these holy artifacts, which, you know, these artifacts could be held in Antarctica. Or you know, they're keeping people off of kilter because of it. That's the thing, and that could also be where they're taking all these hidden belongings, Simon. You know, where they're not going to be found under earth. You know, under the sea.
I've always said it's under there. You need to look under, not under the earth, under the sea, wherever you like to look. We're all looking up there, but I don't think we should be. To be honest, I think it's here. I think it's here and it's amongst us.
Yeah, I think they're amongst us. Yeah, definitely. But I do strongly.
You're talking about Hitler. Do you remember a conversation with Grandad? He was scared of something in the jungle.
Yes,
used to call it the German jungle.
Yeah.
Right. I did a bit of digging there, and there was a sidekick of Hitler who was into black magic and all that, and devil worship and all black magic, and that was in the camp Grandad had to guard.
Right, got ya.
So what he was scared of, and he said men wouldn't go in there, and me and you would run a mile. We probably would, after Paul had gone first. No, right.
Can't help yourself, can you?
But what I would say is, yeah, that was his camp. So that's what he was scared of, because even that's what he would be guarding.
That's strange.
It's really strange, because he was never into any of this, was he?
No.
The one thing he said, there's things that scared him so much, and all of the people that were in the army at the time were scared of it. And I said, well, what was it? He said, I don't know what it was, but they guarded it. And that's where he was, funny enough.
But then that just goes to show that, I suppose, without sounding wrong, what was Hitler's war? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Was that a cover up for something else? Was that to just push the people away from Germany to cover up something? I don't know, because I don't want to sort of offend too many people, because it's very.
No, I know what you're saying. His way into them countries to find what he's looking for, that sort of thing as well.
Yeah. Was it?
And-
Sorry, Simon. Go.
Who cared? He didn't care who he took out, did he? He didn't care how many people he killed. It's awful. Awful.
Well, look at the time they spent in Africa as well. Look how many relics are meant to be in Africa. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just think there's a lot more to it than we will ever. And I know that it's history that states it, that Antarctica was Hitler was a massive admirer of Antarctica. So there is a very, very, very good chance that if Hitler did find some of these famous artifacts, they've got to be some. And if we are going by the Ark of the Covenant, the chalice of King Solomon or whatever it was, and all that sort of, it holds energy. It's so-called powerful shit. So you ain't going to want that anywhere in a museum. You're not going to want something, if you're saying, if this dark magic, this black magic, which, it could, what is the black magic? Is it just the power of the, for example,
Is it alien? Is it alien?
Exactly that. We look at, look at Indiana Jones. The later ones become really far-fetched. The crystal skulls of the alien.
But that's true. Again, they're all based on the truth, aren't they? The crystal skulls that have been found.
About the crystal skulls as well. So once, and I know I'm a strong believer, for anyone who's new here, that the films tell us the way. They drip feed us. Apart from the ones that Joe tells us to watch, whatever it was, the Philadelphia Experiment, whatever it was called.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Was it that? Did you ever watch that film, Paul?
No, I didn't actually.
Thank God for that.
Did you watch it?
Yes. Well, Simon watched it first, and he was so polite in saying, well, and it was like he was never going to say, don't watch it. And I watched it, and I was like, what have I just sat through? I didn't. I get the principle of it.
Don't get me wrong. The principle was bang on. The principle was feasible if
it
was.
But it never had, They Live is quite a good production. So, I'm a strong believer in films will guide us in some, or they drip feed us some information regarding what we need to know. And I do believe that, for example, for example, Simon, far out there, that what Grandad was protecting in that forest wasn't the Ark of the Covenant. Wasn't that, because if you watch the film of the Ark of the Covenant with Indiana, it was the Ark of the Covenant, wasn't it? The box.
Yeah.
They opened that box and everything started to swirl around, didn't it? They all got attacked. It was like letting evil out the cage. Now, if that Covenant, the Ark of the Covenant, was in that jungle, I'm pretty sure that there would be an energy there that everyone would feel, non-believer or not. If something is powerful,
And you're talking army men as well. So you're not talking, you're talking about a man who would never believe in a spirit. But he was scared of that. Why?
So,
That's what
sorry,
that's
so
what I'm asking.
he was told to guard something that he didn't
Yeah,
know.
I didn't know what was in there. No,
See,
they
that
always had to have
Right.
so many. They always had to have so many people. I couldn't
So
be left
I'll
on
be questioning that straight away. But obviously, you've gone because you're in the army. You follow orders.
Yeah,
This is why army is so pivotal with things like this, and why the elite
obviously he saw something
people
happen
in
there.
charge can do what they want with things like that because you're following orders. You don't know what the hell you're going into, and yeah, that's crazy.
But obviously he saw something or heard something there because they were all scared of it. Well,
Yeah.
what they, and that's what I used to ask him. Well, what were you scared of? And he used to say to me, "I don't know. It was what was in there." Well, what was in there? I don't know.
That's it.
That's the conversation you used to get with him. Though.
Joe told us to watch the experiment, so you know what happened. Not for the quality of the film.
Yeah,
Well,
I do get that, mate.
It's based on a true theory. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And Grandad was making it up. No such thing as ghosts.
Yeah.
Thing that was Grandad's saying. But
Yeah.
I'm. But do you not feel back in the day though? They would never question.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
People would question now.
Yeah.
I think people would.
Back in his day, you wouldn't question. You were told to do it, and you did it.
Yeah. Now I don't think they would get away with it that easy because people would question it because people, they've got cameras. I know the military wouldn't be allowed, but people would film it. People would film what was in that forest.
It'd be more a case of elite units now doing that sort of thing rather than,
Yeah.
The Crusade. This is going back. This is the Covenant and all that. This was meant to be on the island, and that's the Oak Island, isn't it? Nova Scotia, Oak Island, and everything on that, which that's quite a good story as well. But I think it's a little bit too obvious in my eyes, that one. But I do watch Oak Island. I love it. I watch it with an absolute passion. It's one of my favourites.
I started to watch it, but I don't ever find anything.
No,
It's
but
just-
that's the whole of.
It's leaving you on a cliffhanger all the time.
Yeah,
And then
but-
you get to the cliffhanger and nothing happens, and that really frustrates me. Just
But then
find something. Sorry.
I'm on there for season 12, Simon. They found a bit of wood. A bit of wood that's dated 1300. And I'm excited for a bit of wood,
I couldn't handle that. I
Season
couldn't
12.
I'm sold on it. I'd love that is a dream. What they're doing is a dream. They are absolutely a dream. It's a dream job because they're doing everything. They're treasure hunters. They're doing hobbying. They're getting paid millions of pounds because what they put into this, you've got great big containers going down. The theories are elaborate. I just think you've got the best job in the world. And I think that's why I'm sold on it.
Yeah.
The Gary Drayton and his metal detector, and I must admit that the thing he found, that the lead cross that it was lead, and they can actually carbon date lead to a specific, quite a good time frame. It's
Yeah.
not massive. It's really tight, and it was around the Templars. It would have been Templar treasure, and they've always held on to that. And then so that was probably about season 2. And in season 10, they found a lead button that carbon dated to the same date as the lead cross, and the same I don't know, the makeup, the genetic makeup of it. And they would say it was found on 2 different parts of the island, and they're pretty 96% sure that it'd be the same material, same made at the same time. So they know that the Templars have been there, but I don't think the Ark of the Covenant was there or anything like that. I don't. But you know what? For an hour a week, I'm Indiana Jones. and that's it. But it's what I would love to do is take paranormal people over there.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
all these theorists doing it, of like astrologers with the stars and the lines and the crosses and the stones, and I get it. But I would love, they've never had a paranormal team go over there, and I'd love it to see a paranormal team go over there and just give them, you walk on and
You
go,
probably ruined it in 5 minutes. There it is, mate. You need to dig down.
Yeah.
You've ruined their program, mate.
I don't know why you're looking for an X. There's a circle round the corner that I'm being told. Round the corner, there's a stone ring. All right. So I don't know how they do it. I'm not saying it's carbon dated. I don't know how they do it, but the lead thing has been dated. How they've done it, I don't know. But
Don't try and ruin his favourite show, Joe.
Yeah, come on. bro.
They got loads in it. Island, Oak Island.
Now, don't talk me of Skinwalker Ranch. It's another one that does me head in.
Yeah,
Just get into something. No.
that's it. What was considered to be one of the biggest finds, the lead cross was discovered at Smith's Cove. Testing showed that the material is from southern France and dates back to 1310 to 1340. The artifact supports the theory that the Knights Templar may have been on the island. So how it is dated, I don't know. But they use the word carbon dated. That's trees. I know they can carbon date trees, can't they, with the precise date as well. I know that one from my horticultural side of things. So Skinwalker Ranch, another one.
Yeah, leaves you hanging.
Leaves you hanging. But you must have seen the other one, which is pretty good but funny. Blind Frog Ranch.
Yeah, I started to watch that. Yes.
You've got to finish it.
I've never heard of that.
Well, it's next door to Skinwalker Ranch. It's next door. And they went down there and they took water, and the water turns into some form of metal that they can't identify. Something along them lines. But they've only ever made one series, and the second one, I think it got taken off of air. But
It could have been.
they
He
were
was
really,
a nutter, wasn't he? He just
yeah,
thought he's got so much money he can buy any bit of equipment you want. So he does.
Yeah,
So we
and
just
he-
blast it out with this bit of equipment.
but then he was he's like a hillbilly. He's like a redneck. And
Yeah.
the last episode was in one, they actually got into the tunnels, but the tunnels started to produce some form of gas that all their alarms started to go off.
Oh, bloody hell.
I think, yes, yeah.
But it's really interesting because it only happens at a certain time of a year when the frogs come out from the caves or something along there. There's a hole in the caves that floods. They have to get a boat over to it, and the frogs go in it and come out of it. And they might be blind. I don't know. Joe said that they blind. I'm not too sure, but
It's something to do with how the frogs are getting in and out of there.
yeah.
But
It's literally, you know where Skinwalker Ranch is? I think that Dean said it's in the Utah Basin.
it's worth a watch, Joe. Actually, the blind frog and Skinwalker are worth a watch. But it's just frustrating that they string the programs out for so long. That's all it is.
Yeah,
they
but
got it, didn't they?
It's all to do with that.
Of course it
Yeah,
is. It'd be no good if it was all done and dusted and solved in one episode.
I'd be funny. Oak Island's been going for 13 years,
Jesus.
13 seasons,
Oh.
and they're earning millions. They're never going to find anything because that's their inheritance gone. It'll just be passed on to their sons that will dig deeper.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, even if they did find something, you'd probably hide it, thinking, well, I'm never going to get any money from the, you know, the Ark of the Covenant because it's history. But if I keep digging for the next 20 years, I'm going to get £1 million an episode.
Yeah.
You know, it's no different with Skinwalker Ranch. You know,
No.
I thought it was very bizarre. The Skinwalker Ranch one, very bizarre.
Yeah, some
And
of it was. Yeah, some of that was because some of it was very. You saw quite a lot of stuff there. You saw quite a lot of lights you couldn't explain. The animals being carved up. That was quite. Yeah, that was more ufology, really.
But then, I know it's a bit all over the place, this show, but hey ho, we might as well go with it. First one back. The carving up was always the one that baffled me. That was the carving up of the cows and the cattle.
Yes. Yeah.
Because is it that's based on the I can't say it, the Mexican thing, isn't it? The chupacabra. Chupacabra. It's based on that. They reckon it's something to do with the chupacabra coming down from that mountain with the but I like it. I do watch Skinwalker Ranch. I like it. But I love Expedition Bigfoot as well. I absolutely adore that program. I love that program. Once again, it leads you on a wild goose chase.
I can't get into that. But
the best one was when they did the best one. It cracked me up. Absolutely cracked me up. But it just was enjoyable. I can't help it. He put lines across trees, so like really thin cotton, and he was hanging little trackers on them. You wouldn't know they were trackers, but they cling to something, and all of a sudden one of them activated, and he was on this trail bloody forever. About 3 episodes it was, and he was going up in the mountains, and he was going, and then all of a sudden the thing just went dead. Oh, we've lost it. There's no more signal. I was like, fuck's sake. And all of a sudden this helicopter appears over the mountains, comes down, picks him up, and they start going deeper, and they pick the signal back up again. They go, you have to wait to season 4 to find out what happens.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favour. Do yourself a favour. But
what was it? Did you ever find out?
no, because I'm waiting for season 4.
You're still waiting.
But that's what I'm thinking. These programs are there to give you that journey.
Yeah, entice you in, keep you there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah, of course.
I like things that are easy watching. When it comes to things like that, everything there is easy watching. And I have my own opinion on it. And yes, I do believe in Bigfoot. I do believe in the Knights Templar, but not at Nova Scotia. And I do believe in extraterrestrials. And there's certain things there, you know, with Skinwalker Ranch that I just think, oh, yeah, whatever, mate. I don't believe that. But then I like to listen to the other part of it. No different to the Oak Island and no business Bigfoot. There's bits and pieces that I'm very torn in. But because that's the sort of field I'm in, I like to have a little bit of interest in a little bit of everything and not a lot of knowledge in anything. So, and I think that's why.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
go.
you can't have a lot of knowledge in it, can you? Because
No.
nothing's really been proven yet. Until
No.
somebody actually goes and finds Bigfoot, goes and finds a city under the sea, you're never gonna be able to say.
But there's
Exactly.
You can research it as much as you want, but at the end of the day, you're only going to be picking up on other people's opinions and what they've found and how they come up with them conclusions to what they've found.
But I think the more you see, well, the older you get, I think, especially in my case, the more knowledge you do get, the more things you see, and the more things you can.
I do, but I tell you to watch a program, okay, and it's called Expedition Atlantis. The bloke does no, because he only ever done one series of it,
Right. Okay.
and it never ever come back again.
What?
Now-
Where can you get it?
I think it's on Prime. I'll get you the exact name of it, but I don't know if it's called Expedition Atlantis. He does a lot of things. He does like Expedition X, he does Expedition this and Expedition that. But I always, maybe there is a meaning to it. Like these shows that are going on for series after series after series is absolutely ballcack. But maybe the show that's been taken off of air after one series was a little bit close to home.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Because there was a great program called the Bermuda Triangle. There was 4 blokes. They were just 4 random blokes. And it only lasted one series, but it was brilliant. One had a wooden leg. That's how random these blokes were. But it only had one series, and you felt like they were getting somewhere with a little bit of asking people, speaking to these people, and all of a sudden it never got issued another program. And I just think, like, sometimes are they too close to something?
Yeah, because you'll always get funding at the end of the day. It's whether they want you to do it or not.
Yeah,
I think.
no, I agree. Data, do you think the secret government would let them air something if they didn't find proof? If alien, do you think the government would let?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to air it. I don't think you would be able to air it.
No.
They might be able
It would scare too many people.
and give snippets and things like that and clues, but they'd never give definitive proof. I don't think.
No.
It would scare people. It would scare too many people.
Yeah.
You know, to a certain extent, if they said they found aliens and we could go and see aliens, we would be a little bit scared, I'm sure. In fact, I would. 100% I'd be scared. But you imagine what we do, what we believe in, to what Joe Blogs down the street.
I'd be sceptical. Is it really an alien?
Yeah. That's.
I'm such a strong believer in Project Bluebeam. I think it's going to be fake before it's real.
Yeah. But then is Project Bluebeam leaving us to that point of, does it actually get to full Project Bluebeam?
Or is that the disguise? Is that the look this way while this is happening?
Yeah, exactly that.
You know,
I think I'm with Simon in a way there. We would all be hesitant, but I think they've already told us. I think they're never going to give you the infinitive truth.
No.
I think there's always going to be an argument of we're going to give you it in one hand, but we're going to give you the other in the other hand and let the 2 battles commence. Because there's going to be people like us who believe in aliens, and then you're going to have people like Grandad that would never believe in anything like that. And that's what they need. They need them people to coexist for any secret to stay a secret.
Yeah.
you know, and that's as simple as it gets. You know, we take that to anything. Look at the COVID situation. I use that as my prime example. You had the COVID believers and the COVID non-believers. They couldn't come out with either or either because it'd be heavily weighed on too much mind. So they had to have two sides arguing to make it sound realistic. Hide the truth, tell the truth. And I do believe it's there. I do believe that the governments, all these videos that come out, and how do we know they're not the truth? Because you're going to have someone picking it apart and someone saying, look, it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it happens on every subject.
Look at the picture that's in our background. The background picture is a prime example. That could be real. Absolutely could be real. But there's going to be people there that will pick it apart and say it's just a blob in the sky. But they want that. They've give us this picture. The media, the mainstream media have aired this picture. And I think they do tell us the truth. I really do. They only done one series as the wooden leg got woodwormed. Yeah, Atlas comment is being drip fed to us as a craft. Is this the one that's going to be hitting us? Is this one? Is this the one that's going to hit us?
I don't know.
Or could it be the beginning of this Project Bluebeard? As might not be a secret if things turn out to be an alien craft.
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer that the mainstream media will tell us the truth. I really am. I'm a strong believer of it, but they will also tell you the disproof and let people argue it to their heart is content. And that's how I see it. I don't see it any other way. There's always two sides. There's also just like the universe, rust, dark, and light. Yeah, I absolutely. I agree with you. I do.
I think it is in all walks of life, isn't it?
And I think it goes back. I think it goes back in time. I don't think we're looking in the modern day era here. You know, I think we're looking. You know, we're looking at.
You see, I think we've shot a lot of these craft down. I think we have. I think there's been a lot of. So where have they gone? Where are they now? Because I believe we have. I believe we did it in Rendlesham. I believe we did it in Pentrick and certain other places in this country. So if we've done it in this country, how many have been over US? How many have been over the rest of the countries?
I
So
think
where are the crafts?
But then I still think a lot of it is our own craft as well, with the reverse engineering and things like that. I think they've kind of openly admitted that as well, isn't they? That they're testing it, their own spaceships, basically.
What's to say that isn't the aliens that are shooting down their aircrafts being tested? So they don't want us to have it. You know, there's always going to be two. You know, we're always saying this, that, and the other, but we're never going to know the truth of it. We're never going to know the truth of it. You know, I know that there's a lot of people out there that believe these aliens are going to save us and stop all this. They don't give a flying monkeys about this world. I'm sorry, they don't. We're just another species to them.
Yeah, but not if they need something on this planet. They actually need something on this planet. They're not going to let it be destroyed.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't need us, then, would they? They'll just get rid of us to have.
Yeah, I'm not saying they need us, but if they need that particular, I don't know. Perhaps I don't know.
Perhaps it is something they need.
Perhaps it's actually something we produce that they need.
Perhaps it's us, as Paul just said, as us physical. Because if they didn't want, if it was water, air, whatever, we're no need to them. We don't need to be here. So, in my sort of what you've just said there, Paul, would be we harbour something they need
Mm.
because they
Yeah.
need us here.
How
Listen,
many people go missing every year?
yeah,
Yeah,
What's the
yeah,
saving-
totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, totally agree.
that's a very weird way of putting it, but the more you say it out loud, the more you think, oh, hang on a minute.
Perhaps he's
You know,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
He's right.
I'm not saying every alien species bad. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm not a believer that there's only sort of like 10 species of human, non-human living entities out there. I think there's thousands. I think there's more planets than we could ever imagine, living planets like us with different life forms on them out there.
Oh God, yeah. No
And
doubt.
we're just one in a billion in our universe of different species.
100%.
So if they don't want us, they'd blow us up, in my eyes, because there's different planets out
Oh
there.
yeah,
Probably
we
got,
don't need
they need hormones. That's why they have been surgically removing glands and sexual organs. I suppose that's where the anal probing comes from. A different way of looking at it. The bad ones, that is. The good one wants us to wake us up and realise that we're on a prison planet. I don't think they care. In my eyes, I don't see what benefit that would do to them. It's, I'm sorry. It's my opinion. I just don't think they care. I'm sorry. I think if we went to nuclear war, I don't think it would stop. I don't. I think they would just let us get on with it. That's how I see it. I must admit, I've only ever come across 3 species of extraterrestrials. The one in Wales, the one in Cannock, and the ones in Rendlesham. But loosely, the ones in Rendlesham and Cannock could be potentially the same. Loosely, I don't quite know how that fits. I'd say because obviously you had the experience in Rendlesham, Sandra Adam in Cannock. We're going on sort of putting 2 and 2 together. What we saw, explanation of what Sandra saw and what you saw, that they were the same. But
they clearly tried to show themselves again when we went back to Canada.
Yes,
Clearly,
100%.
yeah.
But it was a different feel the second time.
I don't know if they were the same as in Rendlesham, because I'm sure I'd have got communication, but I didn't. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to sort of side with you on that one. The second time in Cannock, the second time we found it, it felt different.
Yeah. Yes,
But there's a part of me wished we'd seen that video quicker, the one that you caught with them running off.
Yeah.
Because it makes me think that they wanted us to follow. The more I sit here and look back at that video, I always feel that they wanted us to follow. It was a directional, because I never felt
they segregated me from you, didn't they?
Yes, it was like a following.
They took me away from you, and then
But it was always that the way you was filming.
Yes.
Was the key to it all, because I'd went there and said something. Someone else went there, said something. You went there, said something, and we never left that area.
No,
we was all in that area. But you were just filming when we were sort of further either in or to the sides.
Yes, yeah.
I just felt it was some form of
come follow me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad thing.
No, to be quite honest, no.
I don't think it was a bad follow me. I just
No.
think it was. There's something out that back bit.
We need
That-
to see.
Yeah. Because the trees, that line of trees was cracked, wasn't it?
Yeah.
High
Oh
up,
yeah.
about 7 foot in the air, Paul.
Oh, I
8
remember. Yeah, I remember you showing
all
me.
cracked. And it just looked like something had crashed into that
Yeah.
that tree.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember.
very, very weird. But yeah, I can't. I say I can't. Ouch. I never felt threatened at Cannock,
No.
but I did feel threatened at Rendlesham the first time when you had
Yeah.
your episode, and you couldn't. But that's why.
No, I really didn't feel threatened, but then
But I think it's because I didn't like what they were doing, and their mannerisms and their wordings to us. That was to me. It was a threat, and as Joe said, I could be blunt back. So, and a tooth to a tooth, an eye to an eye. I know that, but I didn't like what they did to you, and how they wouldn't let that go. And that's what got me the most, I think. But that's probably logic,
yeah.
more logical than what's the word? Family. You don't. You know what I mean? It was more fight.
Yeah.
When they could, when they wouldn't let you go, it was like, look, he's done everything. He's spoken your words. He's let us know. Now let him go. Now let him go. And I suppose they did that to Sandra as well.
That's it.
But
Yeah.
I didn't feel it as threatening, but that could have been if it was a second time around. They knew me. They knew how I was, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, first time I was definitely felt threatened. The other times, I suppose I've had more spiritual there than I have had extraterrestrial at Rendlesham.
See, I don't. The only place I get spiritual is actually by the gate. It's really weird. It's really weird at Rendlesham. Really weird. But
Yeah, so that's the only. So, but yeah, the first time when. What was the first time? The first time was when. No, it was the second.
When was your
The-
car made?
The first time.
It's when your car.
The first time I didn't feel threatened. The second time I felt threatened.
Yeah. The first time was when the car was misbehaving.
And you had a bad foot, and we walked that long
Yeah.
road around and around and around.
We could have just gone the other way.
And that's when the light anomaly attacked us
Yes.
the first time. So it was the second time I felt threatened when we actually walked down to the gate.
And the car alarm kept going off.
Now that was the first time.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, the second time is when we parked in the second gate.
Yeah, that's what we. Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
walked up, and then we walked further down, then turned.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I'll take that back. The first time, well, I say the first time we got attacked by that light anomaly. So it
Yeah.
flew at me and Jay.
Yeah, and then it come in the car. It come in the car with me. Yeah, it come in the car with just me and Joe at the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but who knows? Who knows? I say we'll never know until we meet them in the flesh, which will never happen.
You don't know. You say it will never happen. It might happen. You might never remember it, but it might happen.
Sure.
Yeah, but I take that. When it comes to something like this, I take it that we are contactees. It's as simple as it gets. I don't care what other people say. I don't have to be abducted to be a contactee. I don't have to be abducted to be an abductor. We've had contact with extraterrestrials. In my eyes, we've had it at Rendlesham, we've had it at Cannock, and we've had contact. We've had it at Wales. You've spoke to them. I've spoke to the ones that I spoke to. What more, because you have these egotistical people on YouTube and that saying, well, I've been abducted and I've been anal probed and all that shit. Yeah, you go do what you want. That doesn't mean you're the only ones that have been contacted. There's different ways and different methods. And I think it's because we are spiritual people. We have an ability to use different parts of our brain. We have an ability to open up our auras to allow them in. And I think there is a lesson somewhere in there that's what they potentially need, but I don't quite know where that fits in my psyche. But that's how I see it. I think the people that are spiritual are more going to have.
I think they're able to. I think it's about vibration, and I think it's if you can raise and bring your vibrations down and up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. And even if it's just a quick light anomaly flash in the sky, you might have asked for it. Well, that's give you a sign of what you've wanted. Say, Paul's seen things. I've seen things. I see it. I agree. We are contactees. I've agreed with you. Oh my God. That makes sense. And this is what I started off with, the part of the show. This is what I start off with, the part of the show. We may not all agree on everything, but because we don't agree on some things doesn't mean we have to be shot. And that's what this is all about. Okay, we're a small network. I know that. But still, we have an opinion. We don't all have to agree with it. It'd be a very boring world if we all agreed with each other, wouldn't it? It'd all be very much robots. And on that note, it's the end of the show. The end of the show. Welcome back, everybody. We will be back next week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for Joe. Thank you for Dean. Thank you for Jane. Thank you for Lisa. All of them for commenting. We appreciate it. Absolutely wonderful to have you on. Paul, Simon, thank you for coming back again.
Thank you.
No problem.
So it's been enjoyable. We've got a lot of things off our chest. More rabbit holes that we probably go down.
We might have something to talk about next week because we're going to do an event on Saturday. So
yes, we are there at Manston. So that'd be good.
Yes.
First time there. So all good in the hood. We've got a new comment coming in. Ciao, guys and girls. Right. See you later, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.